Wormwood is a docu-series on Netflix. It came out in what year? I recently just watched this. I think it's been out for a little while now. Um, and I was very surprised by it. I remember the previews for the show, and I was like, I need to watch that sometime. And I just kind of put it off. But I recently came around to watching it, and very surprised by the story and the editing and just the entire production. It's a great docu-series, one of the best documentary series I've seen on Netflix or seen anywhere, really. Between 40 to 50 minutes long. And I would say it's like an X-Files show, but it's a documentary. And there's a lot of stuff about the CIA in there, things about, hidden secrets. What this documentary does really well, though, that other documentaries haven't done yet, is it's pretty much an interview with one person. And this one person tells this story about his father that's just insane. His dad works for the CIA, I believe, and they're doing a lot of top secret stuff in the 50s. And one night, his father jumps out of a window and dies. And the government says, well, they were testing LSD and it had a negative effect, and this happened all of a sudden. And the father's son, who is pretty much the main character in the story, who's talking to Errol Morris, the filmmaker, about, the events and how it's just consumed his life. This event that happened to his dad. He just doesn't believe what the government's telling him. And he just continues the search. And it's an amazing story because he really finds new evidence up until 2016, I believe, or 2017. And it's just amazing that he's had to kind of dedicate his whole life to be a detective just to figure out the details of how his father died. Did he get thrown out of the window? Did he fall out of the window? It's a very analytical movie, and it's very well made. The editing is very good. Each episode is a new piece of information, and it's one of those shows I found really addicting. I wanted to see what happened next. Each episode was just like, wow. And it's based on a true story, and there's a lot of education in this documentary too. I learned so much about our government in the United States here, the CIA, the FBI, lawyers, judges, the time in the 50s, what society was like, and what it's like now, and how we can continue to research. And I mean, he just keeps working at it, trying to figure out, what is the truth. And it just leads to all these different directions. There's so many stories that just keep developing, so many characters. It's very dense. I mean, I've watched it once, and I feel like I don't fully understand the whole story because there's just so many people involved and secrets. And I mean, towards the end, I mean, the series just keeps compounding on itself. There's new evidence, new things. As a viewer, you get to see what happens at the beginning, and by the end, it's a completely different series of events, and it's all based on this guy's investigation and what really took place. He just doesn't give up, and it's a good story. It's a very, very good story. It's true, and it just kind of shows the secrets that the government can hide, and not just the government, but other people. can hide from someone else, and you become very aware of the possibilities of things going bad. It's more disturbing than anything. It's not really, I mean, it's graphic, but it's not extremely graphic. If I could rate this movie, I would give it a PG-13, but it's definitely TVMA on Netflix. But my review score would be 9 out of 10. Definitely check it out if you can. If you'd like documentary series, if you like crime stories, definitely check it out. The editing in this is something I've never seen in a documentary. There's a mixture of live action. There's a mixture of experimental. There's I believe they used 10 cameras when they were interviewing the main guy they were talking to, and it's just a very well made piece of work. I'm sure it took a long time to edit and to complete, but it's great, and I hope the filmmaker continues to make more stories like this that are true and very engaging to the viewer.